All right, mountain bikers, hands up if you love uphill switchbacks. I don't actually, but you do ride them sometimes, and they're a necessity for getting you up to the top of the hill sometimes. So here's a few tips on how to master uphill switchbacks. Switchback turns, got to get from here to over there. Super tight corner. I don't like downhill switchbacks, especially don't like uphill switchbacks. Don't know why, maybe because it's really hard to find flow. So, rule number one of riding uphill switchbacks good is get yourself an e-bike. But if you haven't got an e-bike, rule number two, it's like any corner, trying to find a good line. With really tight turns as well, when it comes to sort of picking your line, your front and rear wheel will be on different lines. So try and go wide with the front, and then your rear wheel obviously follows, but it's going to be further inside, a bit like that Arctic truck. So if you start off too close to the inside with your front wheel, your rear wheel is probably going to drag against this camber, and then it's going to slide as well. So maybe try and get a little bit wider than you want with your front wheel to make sure that your rear wheel doesn't go too far inside. On to the next turn. This one's fairly simple, nice and grippy, hard pack, except for when you're coming out of it. There's a bit of a route if you go wide. Again, with this, you want to try and go inside, but the good thing about coming up an uphill climb is actually really easy to pop a little wheelie. If your front wheel's coming up towards this, I'll just pick the front wheel up and over it, bring it to the inside, and then my rear wheel is likely going to miss it, because you want that as well. If you catch your rear wheel on that, it's one of those things that could probably stall you and make you lose your balance and fall over. One of the most frustrating things about uphill switchbacks is sort of losing your balance mid-turn and just having to put your foot down or you toppling over. So there's a couple of things to think about there. First one is gear choice. So you probably have to get quite a low gear, particularly if it does kick up steep mid-turn. But you want to be pedaling against a decent amount of resistance, just because if you're spinning your feet a lot, that's easier to lose balance as well. And you might need that sort of power of a bigger gear to get up the steeper part of the turn. But what you really want to do is be smooth with your power delivery so that you give that rear wheel a bit of traction, and that can be easier if you are pushing a bit more resistance. Next little trick for keeping your balance is actually steering. So when was the last time you thought about steering your mountain bike? Don't really do it much, do you? You think more about leaning your bike into turns. But generally, because these corners are so slow, you actually are steering a decent amount on these. And if you're losing your balance, that's where you can just angle your bars. If you're falling off the inside, whip your bars around and get that bike beneath you again. So think about what you're doing with your bars, as well as keeping a nice smooth cadence through the pedals. All right, last little tip, and I think this is a top secret one, is actually using your rear brake mid-turn to really smooth out your power. A bit like it'd be like a clutch on a motorbike. It is better on the flatter switchbacks. There you go. Well, it was worth it. That was a fun trail. Let me know what your least favourite, or maybe you should say what you struggle with the most when it comes to mountain biking, because maybe that's why I don't like them. I find them hard. But there you go. That's how to do uphill switchbacks.